So I want to talk about what it means when a quarterback is or isn't ready, because it pisses me off. Like some analyst will come out and just say like, look, I don't care what anyone thinks. I say Trey Lance isn't ready, and they'll just leave it at that. Like, what the fuck does ready mean? And no one defines it. So I'm asking you, man, you played in the league. What the fuck does ready mean when it comes to a quarterback?
That's the $1 million question. What I'm assuming, just based on the context that people use it, is Trey Lance ready to lead a team to a championship? Is Trey Lance ready to lead a team to the Super Bowl? That's the only thing I could take from it, because if you're talking about any other rookie quarterback, I don't think they've been any more or less ready than Trey Lance. Matter of fact, most people would say what he did in his second start against Houston, not the best of teams, but a solid opponent defensively, what they did down the stretch, that was better than most of the other guys' performances, especially early in the season, especially for a guy who only had 2 weeks of starting reps throughout the entire year. So what does it exactly mean? Not quite sure. I'm assuming is if you have is he ready to do what Tom Brady could do to lead a team to a championship? We would all say no. I think that means he's not, quote unquote, ready.
But that's a really unfair definition of ready. Like, by that definition, there's 10 quarterbacks in the world who are ready to play for the 49ers, and Jimmy Garoppolo isn't one of them. Has proven it. He's had multiple chances to win a Super Bowl with this team. Can't freaking do it. Literally cannot win a Super Bowl with this team. So he's not ready either. I think that this whole definition of ready thing is bogus. I think it's basically, I mean, I don't want to say
it's lazy. It's very lazy analysis.
It's lazy.
It's easy to push the narrative because that was what a lot of them thought heading into the season. But I'm going to use a few examples of some people who thought Trey Lance wouldn't be, quote unquote, ready, but kind of changed their tune once training camp started. Once this guy named Grant Cohn called him a running back, said he looked like Tim Tebow.
It's true.
And more athletic,
I was not impressed when I looked at his resume the first time. I was like, are you kidding me?
You saw him live?
Yep.
And the first thing you said was, he's better. Well, the
best quarterback I've ever seen on this practice field. Best quarterback I've ever seen on that practice field.
You said he was the best. You said he was better than any rookie that you had seen, including Colin Kaepernick and these other guys, right? But you weren't the only one. I listened to a lot of Matt Miyoko throughout the offseason. He was another guy that was pushing the Mac Jones train hard. The moment he saw Trey Lance in training camp, he was blown away and was like, oh, wow. This is some of the best quarterback I've seen from anybody to come in. So, now you got Adam Schefter coming in and saying, oh, he's greener than they thought. Well, how green is it? Because all these other people who were not as high on him before seeing him said he walked in and was like, hey, this is the future. This is the guy. He's terrific. Mayoko, he's further along in the process than I thought he would have been. And then now we're hearing different conflicting reports from national report guys or whatever.
Yeah. Look, to me, it's unfortunate. You say it's lazy. What's unfortunate is it seems like people only say this about black quarterbacks. Am I wrong? When was the last white quarterback came in? He's just not ready. I mean, all those physical gifts, they're great. But in this league, you're going to have to use, and it's going to take them. It's like you always hear that with the really gifted. You're hearing it right now with Malik Willis. I don't even know that kid that well. But everyone's like, so gifted. He's just a little unrefined. It's going to take it because he's black? What are you talking about? And then you have a guy like Zach Wilson, who had no resume coming out of BYU, and everyone's like, hey, man, let him start week. Give him the freaking team. And any struggle he had throughout the year is like, hey, what's, learning experience, Jets suck, not his fault. Come on.
There was a game where Zach Wilson, I looked at the score in the third quarter. He had 4 interceptions and 4 completions in the third quarter, and you don't really hear about it.
He was ready.
But he's more ready than Trey Lance. Yeah. I don't want to pull out, the race card or anything like that. But
that's why I did it. That's why I did it. I didn't want you to do it.
Yeah. But historically, there has been a different context that they use pertaining to black quarterbacks, and even before. And that was a lot of the reason why it was hard for black quarterbacks to kind of break into the NFL and why you didn't see as much. I'd say as of late, you see a lot of really good quarterbacks coming to the league, but I do think they come in with a different narrative. And they kind of have to prove that they can play before they kind of get the praise, as opposed to some other guys
play a certain way.
The benefit of the doubt.
They have to play a certain way, right? The right way. To play the right way. What does that mean? I want to say something real quick. Everyone writes off that start that he had against Houston. It's just Houston. I went through all of Houston's schedule, all the quarterbacks that played against him. I mean, Lance put up better numbers than every single quarterback in the league that played Houston, except for Matthew Stafford and Kyler Murray. Better numbers than Darnold, Justin Herbert, Tannehill, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Russell Wilson, Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones. He put up better numbers than all of those guys against that team. So I don't know. I think he's ready, man. That's my
Here's another thing.
Yeah.
So, obviously we have a small sample size, but I did a little bit of math. All right. And if you take his 2.5 games that he played and multiply that over a 17-game season and just say, hey, if he does it consistently, even if you drop off a couple hundred yards here and there or whatever, but just off of those numbers, his season would be 4,100 passing yards, 1,100 rushing yards, 34 passing touchdowns, 6 rushing touchdowns, 17 interceptions. So we're talking about over 5,000 yards of offense, 40 touchdowns, 17 picks. And again, I'm not saying that he would do that. And I'm not even saying he's ready or whatever. But in the sense of how green they try to say he is or how he can't play, when you average his numbers out over 2.5 games, the numbers show that he's at the very least competitive.
He's ready. Yeah, and they say like the team's too good to turn it over to someone so inexperienced. I think that's like the wrong logic. The way I look at it is the team is so good that makes him even more ready. How can he fail? He's got Debo. He's got Kittle. Zach Wilson doesn't have anything like that. It's all on Zach in New York. So I think the ready scale should be even lower for Trey Lance out here. That's the way I look at it. Dude is ready. Ready. All right, next question.
I think he's ready. I think he's ready to start and win games. How far does that take you? And again, that's up to Kyle Shanahan on what he thinks. If he thinks like, well, I gotta win a Super Bowl, then he's probably gonna be thinking more Tom Brady than Trey Lance. But if he feels like, hey, I can win games and we're gonna figure this out along the way, which most guys do with young quarterbacks, then I think you instill that confidence in your young guy that hey, it's okay to have these little ups and downs. We're going to work through it together and we're going to win games. If you looked at it that way, they'd be a playoff team, I think, without a doubt.
See, I'm with you with Brady, but I just don't think the Niners can go after Aaron Rodgers because he hasn't been in a Super Bowl in a long time, and that must mean he's not ready to play for the 49ers. Rodgers, I don't know. Sorry.
He's not ready.
He's not ready.